Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I don't really know what we're going to do, so let's find out. So we're on Hearts of Iron 4, unfortunately not Millennium Dawn. I do apologise, I have been trying my best and some more to try and get the new PC for this week, which unfortunately we haven't managed to achieve, but we will manage to achieve it for next week. And I'm saying that because I will literally put everything on the line to get it done for next week. So you will have it next week, and that I would say is a promise, but you know, things can happen. But I will do my best times 2 plus more to get it for you for next week. However, I have a little channel update. Obviously, beside the fact videos are now on Saturdays, it's not just going to continue to be Hearts of Iron 4 on the channel anymore, as I have a couple of projects in the works, which will mean that it's not only Hearts of Iron 4 videos, it might be some Minecraft, some possibly Dragon City again. We might do, and this is a little spoiler because I haven't properly, done the sort of behind the scenes planning of it yet, but possibly a bit of the new Thomas game. Who knows? If you guys want to see that, put it in the comments down below. But yeah, I've got a lot of games I want to show, maybe some Euro Truck, and some other things like that. And also the sort of quality of videos is going to change a bit as well, because instead of the current, actually we'll just go and play as UK because why not? Instead of the current situation of me just filming in a block of like starting filming and then just filming straight through, as you guys can see at the current minute, it will be filming clips and then piecing them together just so you guys get a bit of better content. But obviously that'll mean I have to film on an earlier day in the week and then post it, so it might mean that I take a week off where I film on a Saturday, don't post, or I film on a Friday, sorry, or film 2 videos and basically film a video a week in advance, edit, and then it'll be sort of weekly. It'll still be the same schedule, but it just means I have to film the week before I want to post it instead of the day before or the day off. So just so that way it can be a bit better for you guys. Anyway, we'll hop into my off-camera UK game, which now is going to become a non-off-camera UK game. Don't ask. It's just a game I sort of setting up and never really did anything with. So let's hop into that if it wants to, obviously. Would like if it did. So we'll see how it wants to do it. But yeah, I've got some Minecraft things I want to show on the channel, so it's going to be, once I get the new PC, there's going to be a bit of a change with how content's made and sort of content you guys see on the channel. Well, hopefully it should get a bit better in quality, and hopefully you guys might like it a little bit more, so hopefully, which would be quite nice, so that's good. I am also hoping to get this video out on time today, which I should do, bearing in mind like a 20 or 30 minute video, get out at, yeah, it should come out in time, because it's currently 2:36 in the afternoon on Saturday the 18th of April 2026, so yeah, it's coming out the same day, but we should get it all out on time. Anyway, this is my UK game. The entire purpose of this game, what I was going to do off camera, is simply Navy. That was the first step I was doing. I mean, this is supposed to be a multiplayer game. Obviously, it's currently on single player, but I haven't done much on it in quite a while. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done in terms of fleets being organised out, and there's just a lot of sort of maintenance, you could say, of the fleet. They also need a ship, so let's move one of these. Yes, let's move that one over. Didn't know they actually had a ship under that name, but that gives me an opportunity for a little collaboration with my Cars and Trains channel. For anyone wondering, I know of a train that's called that name, not the HMS bit, but the other bit of the name. I know a train that's called that. So possibly a little short video collaboration thing, like a YouTube Shorts type of collaboration. There is a possibility, which by the way I need to post more YouTube Shorts on here and my other channels. So, you know, when I say there's going to be a change to content, I mean I'm really about to start ramping content out at an unusual rate for me, and hopefully you guys might like the content I have planned. Obviously you guys will be the final judge of whether it's good or bad, and I'm aware of that, so I will try and do my best to make it on the good side of things. But do let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, and sort of things like that, because that would always help sort of boost the channel, I guess. Anyway, we want to take these 5 ships, move them up there, so they're doing something up there, and then we'll go back over here and just play the game so they will move around accordingly. And hopefully they'll do it today. Oh yeah, I forgot we did a bunch of focuses. I haven't been on this game like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So I don't really know what I've done off camera and what I set up and whatnot. So it's literally just seeing where it goes as it goes. So this will be fun, I'm sure. No idea why there's 12 vessels moving. Where are they going? I have no idea where this went. Right, so we need to do some equipment production. So we'll change to infantry equipment 3. Towed artillery needs to go to advanced artillery. There we go. Obviously we should pressure any nation we possibly can, because we're the British and that's sort of in our history. So we should probably follow that up with continuation of that sort of history. Here we will probably, I think we should probably go with advanced light tank. Here, this is a horrible advanced light tank. I always go with interlevered track wheels, just because it's a lot better. Here, welded armor, it's stronger. Generally I base my tanks off real life tanks that are at certain museums around the world, like chieftains and sort of king tigers and stuff along that sort of line. I believe gas turbine is more effective, but we shall see here. We'll do 3-man turret, just something I got used to doing, so I always do. Small armaments, improved automatic cannon. Then special no, it's not special modules here, it's radio. Now, most of you probably won't build the tanks this way, but this is just the way I've sort of built tanks over time. So I'll put armor skirts on. Then next to that, we want to go back in special modules. I then put smoke launchers and then easy maintenance as well. As if I'm building this to go into a museum. I don't know, I just watched a tank. Is it I can't remember what the name of the place is called. But we'll just up that and then up this, and then we'll save that, and then hopefully that is our new advanced light tank, which should be good. And that'll go into production now. And obviously we need trucks. Interwar armoured car. I'm not sure that we actually need armoured cars, because we're currently only using 2. If we're even using that. Daily balance is +182. Why would we need more? We don't need armoured cars, is the answer to that question. So instead, I think we should probably put armoured trains in power. So we'll start building armoured trains here, because it's just so much more useful than what we were going to build. So that goes into position there. We'll put these on 10 shipyards each, just so that way we can start getting majority of this fleet out as quickly as possible. We probably will stay in the... will we stay in the Navy Treaty? We'll find out, because we probably won't. because I want to build supermassive battleships, similar to things like the Bismarck and the Yamato? Yeah, I've butchered that in about 10 different languages. The famous Japanese ship that they had, it was a battleship during World War II, that one. We want to build a similar one to that. Now I do apologise to anyone who is from Japan and who likes that ship, or anyone who likes that battleship in general, because I've purely gone and butchered that, so I do apologise. Anyway, we're going to get some ships out here in a second, which will be very, very, very nice. Game is just auto-saving, so we'll have to wait a second for that. And then, yeah, we're pretty much at the bottom here, so we can just scroll down to the bottom. And then we've got the Ark Royal, which obviously we want to get out as quickly as possible. Then we got some airplanes here. Now we'll have to design some airframes because I can't have interwar small airframes. So we'll change the interwar small airframe for a modern supersonic fighter, which will put 2 jet engines in, 2 axial jet engines, and then electronics, we will put bomb sights 2, then radio nav 2, and they'll put air-to-air 2, and then the other one as well, which I forgot what it's called. I think it's air-to-ground, so air-to-air, and then air-to-ground here as well. That way I can just do whatever we basically tell it to do, even though it's very much going to be a fighter from Supermarine, which is actually the same company that made the Spitfire. So this is probably going to be quite a useful weapon. So we'll put 4 light machine guns in, and then we'll do the same on this side. We'll just put 2 batches in, and then I tend to put recon equipment in, just so that, you know, once it's finished its fighting, shall we say, it has the ability to do that, and then airdrop mines, just in case. Probably here I'd put more machine guns in, to be fair. And that is the new, will allow Ethiopia to be hosted in exile, because it doesn't really matter. So here is the new top of the range fighter that we're going to have. And then we need to build some new sort of bombers here, even though what I'm going to do is instead just put an intercontinental bomber in to cover the sort of supply chain, shall we say, because that should cover it and it should be fine. And then at the bottom here we have the Illustrious, HMS Illustrious, which is an ice carrier of the Habakkuk class. So we'll just add that there, and then we'll put a Holland and Wolf military organisation or something along those lines in there, which should cover that, and then hopefully we should get a couple of ships out pretty quickly here. I have no idea. Oh, there they're deploying. We have got 9 out so far. Am I correct in saying that? I don't know. Possibly not. We'll find out in a minute. But those are the 9 ships there. Then we'll go over here, because this is a fleet of 14 ships, so we need to take 5 out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once these 5 are then selected, we'll add them to a new command. Then we'll take the 5, we'll put them as a reserve fleet, and then we'll move them over to here. And then we need a capital ship, which this one has plenty of, possibly too many. So we'll take the Queen Elizabeth here, we'll add it to a new fleet, and then it will then be moved over to Plymouth to merge up with the fleet that is in Plymouth, and then they can merge together, and the Western Approaches fleet will be more in the style that I always built, which is 1 battleship and then 9 supporting ships to basically colour it like destroyers and subs and stuff. Now, something I always do now, which I didn't do previously, is subs and destroyers and cruisers are kept separate. So submarines are always a separate thing in like a sub fleet, whereas destroyers and cruisers are kept with the battleships. So that's just the way I do it. I mean, feel free to do it the way you want to do it. I mean, I'm not saying my way's the better way to do it or even a good way to do it. It's just the way I've learned how to do it and sort of stuck to it, I guess you could say. I have no idea whether submarines have such weird names, but we're not going to question it. Also didn't mean to pick that fleet again. I want to pick this one. So this is the Portsmouth fleet, so we can't really move it from Portsmouth, which is annoying. But what is this? Is this a Dover fleet? Or it's the Nor fleet? Now, I have no idea why it's called that. Someone's probably going to tell me in the comments. Because it's not in the north. Unless that gap is called the Nor? I don't really know. Personally, I'm going to move the fleet up into Northern Ireland. And it probably will get renamed, if I'm being honest. Because currently we have 12 in the home command in terms of fleets. We need to get down to 10, because we're going to hire James Foulness Somerville here. Obviously he's got 2 more fleets than he needs. Now the problem is, with submarines especially here in the Navy, submarines aren't actually organised properly in game into how I want them, so we have to reorganise that a little bit. We'll back the Turks on the Turkish issue. Yeah, we'll issue an objection. I doubt it's going to work to do anything, but we'll at least issue one, because that'll stand for something, I guess. So, okay, they've compromised. Good. Not my problem anymore. So what we need to do now is this reserve fleet here is not going to stay as part of the home command, because there is no need for it, so it will be reserved, and then we will move it. It's a good question, don't really know where we're going to move it yet. Possibly there, to be fair. It looks like a really good place to put it. So we'll move it over there, and then we got this fleet here which I want to keep, and then these two we got Channel Force, which needs to stay here, and then 5th Submarine Flotilla. Now the 5th Submarine Flotilla is going to be decoupled from that and then moved to there, and then these guys are going to be moved down to here. Just a little shuffling around of ships as you do normally. Then here we're going to have to take this fleet. Now we have to take all capital ships out of it, which there are 5 of them, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll take these 5, separate them here, and then this is going to get quite difficult now, because these 8 ships here are going to have to move into there. And now I've got to find a new place to put my submarines. So the submarines are going to move over to Liverpool, just so they're out of my way a little bit. And then these capital ships here. Okay, we've just gained Aden, I guess. So these 5 ships here are going to move to East Anglia, and that's where they're going to be based for now. And then we will take the Channel Force, and then we'll take I'm tempted to leave the Courageous there and take the Resolution and Revenge, which is what I'm going to do. So the Resolution and the Revenge are going to be separated here into a new fleet, and then I'm going to take them and move them over here in order to basically separate them. And then I'm going to take 3 of these here and then make them into a new fleet. Then I'm going to select this fleet as well here, and then I'm going to get rid of the channel force because I don't want it. I'm then going to have to select this one because I forgot to reserve it, so that is not good. So what I will do instead is move them to there quickly. I will then take the channel force and move it to Dover. Then I will take these 3 ships here and move them back to where they were. And then this way I can organise it out again, which is good. So they can remerge, and that's now Portsmouth fleet rebuilt. And everything is moving very smoothly. So then this group up here can merge into one as the Humber force. And then we need to take a ship out of here, so we'll literally just go to these 2 battleships. We will split them in half. We will take one of them, who will move up here to merge with the Humber force. That's up in Yorkshire. We will then merge this force together, and that's it, nice and merged and organised. Then I'm already predicting that we're going to need a ship for up here, so we'll already send one up there, and that will make 9 up there, so we need to send a normal ship as well. So we'll go into our destroyer pool here. We'll take, yeah, that's fine, just could be any ship, it doesn't really matter. So we'll just take this ship here and move it up there as well, and that way they should have enough ships up there now to organise out and do what's necessary to do. So they'll all merge up now, and that's the Rosyth escort force, which looks a lot different from an escort force and looks a lot more like a full battle group now. Not sure the escort force is the correct name for it these days, but we'll go with it, I guess. And then from here we have the, what is this, the Northern Patrol, which will move up here to the Shetland Islands, in order to keep it out of the way a little bit. And then, what's this, the 2nd Submarine Flotilla, also not going to stay with that command officer. They're actually going to move over here, so we need to relocate them so they move in a different pattern. We want the 1st Submarine Flotilla to be on this group. Then we got the North Atlantic Fleet, which will be staying. We'll just take 3 of these out here. So all 3 of these are going to be separated, then moved away. So we'll make them reserve here, and then they can go over to London and wait for further orders, I guess. Now, the new North Atlantic Fleet will move over here to a spare port, because I can't quite remember where the North Atlantic is. Oh dear, this is not good. I think this is North Atlantic, so we'll just call it that. So we'll move them down there and then they'll be fine. So that's where they'll be based now, is over here. We would put a naval base up here and that'll be where they'll be based, or we'll take a Danish bit of territory, but that will possibly happen at some point in the future. Anyway, we need to move another battleship, so we need to go to these 5. We'll take the HMS Valiant here and move it over. So the Valiant is here, and then it can come over here and merge up with the fleet that's over here now. And then we'll have a look at this fleet, and it is a large one at that. So we'll take the, everything but the hood is coming off of this in terms of ship size. So it's going to be quite a few ships that get separated from the fleet, because we want obviously the Hood to lead the home fleet. So that's the idea of that one. So now there's a little bit more organisation to do. So we will slowly take out a lot of these ships, which hopefully that's enough. That's 9 ships taken out there, so that's good. We'll move them over to London, and then we have 5 more to go here. So let's just get these 5 done, which is those ones, and then we'll separate them. We'll take the 5, and then it can head back for London. And then I'm looking for the first submarine flotilla, which I've now found, which we are going to... I think it's okay if we do this, but I don't want to. Let's try this. Okay, it hasn't changed, so that's good. Let's then attach it to here. There you go. Okay, it's worked out exactly how I wanted it to. We'll move them up to Newcastle, and that's where they'll be based from now on. Then we do need to add another submarine to the fleet, so we'll go over here. This fleet should really have 2 taken off of it anyway, so we will take 2 off of here, make them a new group, and then basically reserve them, which they're already reserved apparently. We'll split them up into 2 sets of 1. We'll take one of these fleets and then move it up to Newcastle, like so. And then can't do that unless it's part of the fleet. The second submarine flotilla here, we will assign into here, making it part of that, which then needs another submarine attached to it, which is fine because that can obviously be arranged. We'll just do this and then merge the 2 together, and they should stay as the second submarine flotilla and have 9 ships, which means once we get a submarine capital ship out, then they will all merge up nicely and look quite nice, which is good. Then we will add a commander here in Andrew Cunningham, I think. So he will command that batch of ships for now, which is good. The 8 submarines are finally moving to Newcastle, which is nice to see, and they should be in Newcastle about now, which they are. And now we just do the simple task of merging them together. And yeah, there you go. That's those ships merged nicely. Then we will need to merge these over here. Very good. And that's all looking a little bit better. Now we're going to take these 9 submarines that are part of the Mediterranean Command. We're going to bring them down here. And I know they're normally based in Alexandria, but I'm actually going to bring them up and base them in Cyprus. Over here. So they're going to be moved to Cyprus for now, and that'll be their new home base, which is good. And obviously we'll have to build up a Mediterranean fleet at some point. So they'll all go over there and manage themselves all nicely and sustainably, I guess. Now we have the Ark Royal apparently. No, it's the Illustrious. So we'll take the Illustrious here, separate it out, and bring it across to our sort of battleship or capital ship storage area, just so that it can be used at a later date for something else that it might be needed for. And that is mostly all of this sorted, except the Northern Patrol. which I think only needs 4 more ships. If it does only need 4 more ships, it's quite well organised. It does only need 4 more ships. Well, that's very well organised indeed. So we'll just move these 4 spare ships up here, and then they can just merge into the fleet, and that'll all be done for the home fleet, which is rather impressive. And that's the home fleet completely finished. Or home command, sorry. So that was pretty easy and quite nice to do. Now, in terms of production here, we should probably start producing... Okay, can we produce a Habakkuk or no, because it's restricted? And now with that Habakkuk being restricted and being unable to produce, that's a perfect position for us to go and end the video. So, unfortunately, no footage of this bit because I had a few issues with technology not quite playing ball. But thank you all so much for watching the video. If you did like this video, please do like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications when you do subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. And please do comment what you'd like to see in the future, whether that's Minecraft, the Thomas game, or anything else from Steam or other gaming platforms in general. Please do drop it in the comments. And I hope to see you, like every week, in the next video, which will be next Saturday, hopefully, Millennium Dawn, but no promises there. So, hope to see you all there. Bye for now.